Coming up on Your Money and Your Life, a guide to building international exposure into your share portfolio. We do a deep dive on petrol prices to avoid pain at the pump. At what point would you feel financially free? Plus, in Kochie's Budget Challenge, how having twins can hike up your energy bill. G'day and welcome to Your Money and Your Life, the show that's all about saving, spending, investing and enjoying your money. My mission is to make sure you're getting the very best deals on everything from home loans to credit cards to insurance. Today we're kicking off with Kochie's Budget Challenge. Every week, with the help of the team at Compare the Market, we dive into real families' bills. So let's meet Nicola, Sean and their boys.
We love creating memories with our boys, and we've done that from the time that they were born. Our family is the most important thing to us. Hi, I'm Nicola.
Hi, I'm Sean and we're from Amesbury in Melbourne.
We are proud parents of our twin boys, James and Logan, and we love going on adventures, whether it just be locally for a bushwalk or around Victoria or anywhere in Australia.
We definitely like to spend a little bit of money because it's enjoyable, but now that we've had the boys, we do understand that we need to knuckle down a little bit more and make sure we provide, especially for their future, because we love them.
Yeah, we do. And we love each other. I'm very excited, actually, very excited about meeting Kochie.
I've looked around here and there, but not always can find the deal that we're looking for, so hopefully with their help we can put something together.
Nicola and Sean, thank you for having us.
No problem.
Twin boys. Oh my God, what's your house like?
Crazy.
Yes, well, if you look around, you can definitely see they have a lot of fun. There is no doubt about that. So, but no, in general, they're good.
Because you're at that classic stage of sort of hyperactive boys, the costs of bringing up kids. It becomes a real financial squeeze, doesn't it?
Yes.
How are you coping?
We're not doing too bad.
Look, we've done pretty well. Look, obviously the last couple of years with all the rate rises and stuff have definitely, a bit of a difference.
So what are your goals you're setting yourself? If you had a bit of extra cash, what would you love to do with it?
We're going away at the end of the year. Also, like, knowing the house prices, we want to be able to have a bit of a nice fund for the kids when they're older.
Right.
Because we're kind of a bit like, well, they're never going to be able to afford a house.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to be able to give them some assistance in the future.
All right, so goals up. A bit of extra cash for the holiday at the end of the year, and also to put some money aside for the boys.
Love to have something in a nest egg for them would be great.
Okay, all right. The team at Compare the Market have been through your big bills, big household that you're in, your energy bill, working a bit from home, all of that sort of thing. Yeah. 3 TVs. Energy, has that been a bit of a killer?
Yes, it's definitely changed over the last few months. Prices have changed and, it is probably doubled or 2.5 times what it used to be over the last couple of years. This year especially has been bad. Okay,
in your energy distribution zone, you're on a time of use plan where retailers can charge different rates depending on the time of day it is.
Okay.
So you've got to be a bit careful of that, whereas single tariff rates are the same for the whole day. So with yours, you've got to be careful of, putting the dishwasher on after hours, washing machines. If you bear that in mind, that can make a big difference on your energy costs. But there are still competitive plans out there. Compare the Market team, looked at your bill and your usage, found one that offers both a lower daily supply charge, because that's one of the extra charges you have, and peak and off-peak usage rates around 23% below the reference rate.
Oh.
That's very good.
So a reduction of 23%. Depending on your usage, staying the same, that could be around a $300 reduction over the year, just on your energy bill.
That's
so that's a good start.
Yeah, I'm definitely complaining there, thank you.
Home and contents insurance. Currently, your policy has a $4,000 claim excess on it, which is a bit on the higher side than most households. A good strategy to lower the premiums, though. But we also found a provider that offers a premium reduction of $680 annually as well. So that's a lot of money that you could put into an offset account if you want to save up for the kids, help with the mortgage as well. So all up, just with home and contents and energy, we've got to about $1,000 in reductions.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay.
Good start.
Yes.
Very good start, thank you.
Would you like more though?
Yes, please.
Never going to say no.
Okay, I think you're going to be excited. There is more to come. Stick with us. After the break, how much international exposure should you have in your share portfolio? Welcome back to Money and Your Life. Now, when it comes to investing, the world is your oyster. There are roughly 80 stock exchanges to choose from globally, many of which dwarf our stock exchange. But recent data shows of the millions of Aussies who invest in shares, only 16% hold international shares. Investing offshore can have many benefits, from greater diversification to lower portfolio risk and exposure to some of the world's best companies. So what's the best way to build international exposure into your portfolio? To find out, I'm joined by Junbei Liu, founder of 10Cap. Junbei, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Most brokers offer the ability to invest in overseas markets. How come Australians haven't taken to it so much?
That's right, isn't it funny? But I tell you what, it's because we have this investor, especially retail investors, we have a home bias. So, which means we feel more familiar with our own home companies. For example, if I'm going to shop at Woolworth, I'm probably happy to hold the Woolworth shares. So, or the Commonwealth Bank, that which for many retail investors' portfolio. So it's the home bias and familiarity is a big reason. Now, the second one is that it's also more tax efficient when you get dividend, because Australian big, large blue chip companies pay you fully franked dividend, which means you get a tax benefit when you get a dividend income. If you invest in offshore shares, well, most of the time you don't buy it for dividend, but if you do, it's less tax efficient.
Right. Given all of that, does it pay off investing overseas?
Absolutely.
Right. Give us 3 stocks that you reckon, if we want to diversify overseas, that would be good ones to look at?
First one is Google, Alphabet. We all know what they do, the search engine. But in recent years, they really have invested a lot of money into AI and expanded into the cloud computing. They also partner with OpenAI, really built that infrastructure, and their advertising revenue has been growing really strongly as well. The company is not expensive. It's trading on something like 17 times earnings.
Stock number 2?
Stock number 2, again, is a defensive and growth name, which is Microsoft. Again, Microsoft really reinvented itself from a hardware computer business into a cloud computing business. And now also a partner, again, with OpenAI, invests billions of dollars. In fact, they invest something like $90 billion into the AI space.
All right, your third one. This is a controversial one.
This is a controversial one. And this is an easier one for investors who does have the home bias, which is Life 360. It's listed on the Australia Stock Exchange, but really it is a global growth business, and US is its biggest market. It provides tracking. It's a tracking business. In fact, it provides tracking or safety feature for family circles, and this one is continuing to dominate the sector in the US. So in fact, it has a monthly active user of 84 million people.
Wow.
84, and that's every month. And then this is higher than some of the social media businesses there in the US, and only a fraction of those people actually pay. So that growth is just essentially converting some of those subscribers to growth. Massive amount of growth, and it's a one to have.
Well, 2 of my daughters are subscribers to it with their kids. So
that's right, the driving feature. They
swear by it. The first 2 stocks and Life 360, their focus is on the US. A lot of people getting out of the US market because of the Trump roller coaster. Should you still invest in the US, or is it better in Europe and the UK or in Asia?
So US is probably represent the highest opportunity for growth. So I think ultimately, after the current phase passes, when we have more stability in terms of the trade and the like, I do think that investors will move back into the US. But for now, there's been a lot of money actually moving into Australian market and the Europe market, and then Asia and China. In fact, so far the best performing stocks, tech stock, actually has been in China, because it's it's the Alibaba, it's the Tencent, because they just gotten too cheap. Now, the risk here is that you still need to, there's regulatory, there's policy shifts and the like, so you just got to be a little bit more careful in terms of where the policy might go and the like. So I think Australia actually looks great, but don't dismiss the US market. I think ultimately still going to be a hunting ground for growth companies.
Jimbo Liu from TenCap, good to see you. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Grady Wolf from Bell Direct, and here's our stock of the week. Develop Global is one of Australia's rising stars in the mining sector, with its flagship Woodlawn operation in New South Wales delivering ahead of expectations for high-grade zinc and copper. The company is rapidly ramping up production, already hitting 750,000 tonnes per annum and targeting full capacity this month. What sets Develop Global apart is its impressive execution, both at Woodlawn and its emerging Sulphur Springs project in Western Australia. A global copper and zinc shortage is on the horizon, driven by rising demand from electric vehicles, renewable energy and clean tech. Existing copper mines are depleting and securing new supply is a very challenging time right now. The International Energy Agency warns of a 30% copper deficit by 2035. Develop Global, therefore, is a key player in filling this supply gap. In addition, its mining services division is providing steady support to earnings, further bolstering its financial stability. With a clear pathway to growth and solid track record, Develop Global is very much a standout for long-term investors.
Still to come, the ETF Whisperer reveals his favourites for a diversification boost. Welcome back to Your Money and Your Life. Now, the term diversification, it's a fancy word for not putting all your eggs in the one basket. And traditionally, it's been achieved by investing in a wide range of asset classes. Now, more savvy investors are turning to ETFs or exchange-traded funds for instant diversification. ETFs allow investors to purchase a basket of shares offering exposure to a wider index. Their popularity is on the rise. A recent report from BetaShares has found 2.2 million Aussies hold ETFs in their portfolios. That's up from 2 million a year ago. So how can we build a diversified portfolio using ETFs? Well, Andrew Weiland, Director of DP Wealth Advisory, I refer to him as the ETF Whisperer, joins me now. Andrew, how are you?
Thanks, Kochie.
How many ETFs do you need in your portfolio to give you a broad diversification?
So in the old days with direct shares, it might have been anywhere between 12 and 15, BHP, Rio, the banks, etc. Because these ETFs are baskets and they hold a number of shares, you probably need less. Now, usually anywhere between, say, 6 and 10 would probably be the optimal number. A number of my clients have around 8.
All right. Give us your top 4 ETFs to give us that diversification. Remembering everyone's different, everyone has a risk profile, but what are the 4 you like?
It's almost like trying to name your favourite child, Kochie. So the first one would be from Vanguard VAS. And so what VAS does is it just owns the top 300 companies in Australia. So when you watch TV at night and they say the All Ords, the ASX did this or that, that's in essence what you're buying, and they do it for a very cheap management expense ratio. So you're getting great diversification at a really sharp price.
Okay, second one?
So looking offshore from an international point of view, it's from BlackRock and it's IHOO. So it's the top 100 companies globally. You've got your Apples and your Microsofts, but you've got some of your European names as well, your Nestle's. But you're also getting protection from the dollar moving around.
Okay, number 3.
So it's a fixed interest snoozy one, but for some people, fixed interest is really important. And we've had a 1 in 15, 1 in 20 year high with interest rates, which is not great if you're a homeowner or a borrower, but if you've been with term deposits, that's great. Interest rates are now starting to fall, so you probably need to be a little bit smarter. So TACT from Janus Henderson, and it's got an eclectic mix of cash and bonds and fixed interest. So instead of you sort of just going down to the local NAB branch or the local ANZ branch and trying to get the best term deposit rate, Janus Henderson are managing this fixed interest basket for you.
Okay, so your 4th one. I think I can guess what it could be. This is your favourite child.
It is the favourite child, and it's Qual. So it's from Van Eck, and it's literally, as the name suggests, buying quality companies. Companies with strong return on shareholders' funds, making money with your money, steady to increasing income, and steady to decreasing debt. And again, it's global companies. It's predominantly US-based because a lot of the names are tech, companies like Microsoft and Apple and Meta, but it's performed incredibly well over a long period of time.
Well, ETFs are really popular with younger investors, not so much oldies.
Mature, Kochie.
Yeah, mature. Should they be getting on board?
Oh, I think they should, but just to be clear, I can really understand why they're hesitant. Change is hard for anybody. But more importantly, as we were just talking about before we filmed this, you've got Commonwealth Bank shares, you got them on the float in 1991 at $5.40. Sell your Commonwealth Bank, get this massive capital gains tax bill so you can be diversified. And I can see why people are going, get real, Andrew, why would I do that? But with that gain also comes what we call concentration risk. So what we're trying to do is get people to be diversified, and you can have an Australian ETF, which has got some diversification, just like my 4 favourite children.
Right.
Australian, international, fixed interest, and some technology or some quality. And that way you've got that diversification. So it doesn't mean you have to get rid of all of your direct shares, but just have a portion there to give you less diversification risk, a smoother return. And in particular, in this uncertain world, it's not a bad thing to be thinking about.
Absolutely. Whisperer, always good to have you on board.
Thanks, Kochie.
Up next on Your Money and Your Life, sick of sky-high petrol prices? The free resources that can help you save every time you fill up. Motorists are feeling the pinch when it comes to fuel. According to new data, the average Aussie is now spending more than $3,000 on petrol every year. But there are ways to reduce the pain at the pump. You just have to know how to read the petrol price cycle. Whether you're driving to work, dropping off the kids to school, or going on a road trip, we all need to fill up at some point. And we all know how painful it is when prices are sky high.
It's just one of those weekly grudge payments, isn't it?
But it doesn't have to be that way. Before we reveal our hack, it's good to know why prices fluctuate. Here's James Ward from Drive.
You've got world conflict, you've got world oil prices, and you have the Australian dollar, and all of that contributes to what fuel costs as it comes into Australia.
There are micro factors at play too, in the form of fuel cycles, which are set by our retailers to drive competition. The cycle goes like this. Prices start out cheap to attract customers, but once that becomes unsustainable, they shoot back up and the cycle begins again. The ACCC's website gives drivers a guide on where the cycle's at in your city and advises what action to take.
Fill up your car when the price feels low rather than when your tank is low.
Motorists can save even more if you shop around. Fuel trackers like Compare the Market's Simples app find cheap fuel near you.
Cheaper fuel could be one suburb, even one street over.
Here are some more tips to keep fuel costs low. Easy tweaks like checking your tyre pressure and taking out heavy items make your car more efficient by reducing unnecessary drag. Use shopper docket discounts and stretch them further with great prices by using the apps. Prices across petrol stations can differ enormously, so it pays to compare. After all, every dollar saved is an extra dollar in your pocket. In this week's Word on the Street, we asked what financial freedom looks like to you.
Would love to work towards financial freedom, probably when in my 60s, 70s at this stage.
Financial freedom is my goal, and I do hope to reach it one day, especially once I'm fully trained.
So I definitely work to financial freedom. I have a set goal each time for savings, and once I've set that, then that's when I can go on holiday or I can spend it on whatever I want.
To me, I guess it looks like being able to accommodate for all of your expenses and live comfortably and just having security.
So the financial freedom aspect of it for me is feeling safe in your finances. So having that buffer.
Maybe when you don't have to pay your mortgage, you don't have to worry.
When you spend money, you don't really need to think about it. It's just buy whatever you want or like go wherever you want.
I'd love to be able to kind of have my own place, have my own space, be able to have money to be able to fall back on and not rely on other people as well, so that'll be good.
By the time I think I own a house, and that's like very, very long down the track. That's probably when I feel like I've reached financial freedom, which is probably going to be forever in this economy.
It literally looks like me and my husband being free enough to play with our kids and to take them places that we want to go, to be honest, where we don't have to worry about money in that sense, not having to worry about what we're spending and not having to monitor on what we spend.
I got asked that when I was in year 6 or 7. I said being able to go and buy something and not look at the price tag, and I stand by that.
That's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Your Money and Your Life. For the very latest money and investment news, go to ymyl.com.au. While you're there, subscribe to my email newsletter, which is delivered to your inbox every Friday. It's free and full of practical advice from me. Thanks for joining us. Next week on Your Money and Your Life, the true cost of poor financial literacy. How to reach a fair financial resolution in a divorce. Would you live back home with your parents to save money? Plus, in Kochie's Budget Challenge, Nicola and Sean get bill relief to the tune of thousands.